I got that California.
If you were part of the Dragon Ball community for no more than 6 seconds, then surely you would have heard some misconceptions and overall just false information regarding our beloved Dragon Ball series. Given how large the Dragon Ball fanbase is and how successful the show was, there are bound to be hundreds of misconceptions and just myths about the Dragon Ball franchise. In this video, I aim to mention some of the more prominent ones that a lot of the casual fans actually fall for despite their long interest in the series. I have already made a part 1 of this video, so if you haven't seen it yet, then I urge you to check it out after this video. But without further ado, let's get right to it.
Trunks. Here.
For keeps?
Yeah, it's yours, brother. I think it always has been.
Wow!
A very popular theory that is still alive till this very day has to be the theory behind where Trunks acquired his famous sword. This theory stems from the events of Wrath of the Dragon, the 13th Dragon Ball movie, where we see Tapion give Trunks his sword at the end of the movie. Shortly after the scene ends, we see in the credit scenes future Trunks holding a sword exactly similar to the one Trunks just received in the movie, making it seem like future Trunks did indeed meet Tapion. However, I'm here to spoil and dispel this theory once for all and call it a myth. First of all, I think it goes without saying that none of the Dragon Ball movies are canon. Well, at least the first 13 movie that spans from Dragon Ball Z Dead Zone up till the Wrath of the Dragon. The non-continuity typically stems from 2 factors. One, the lack of involvement of the creator himself, Akira Toriyama, and how the time placement of the movies contradicts the original story. For example, the second DBZ movie, The World's Strongest, which features Goku fighting alongside Piccolo, Krillin, and Gohan, is supposed to be at the same time frame in which the Saiyan invasion occurred, making it impossible for these events to transpire, because by the time Goku reaches Earth from King Kai's planet, Piccolo has already died saving Gohan, and is not resurrected until the Frieza fight on Namek. The reason why I'm explaining this is because in the movie Wrath of the Dragon, where Trunks receives his sword, we really don't suffer from the second problem of not being able to fit it in the timeline. In fact, out of all the 13 movies, Wrath of the Dragon alongside Dead Zone would be the easiest to fit because of their convenient time placement, which happens to be after the events of the Buu arc, making some fans claim that since the events are possible to occur, the sword theory could still be valid. Well, the events of the Dragon Ball Super anime completely denies that possibility, as Dragon Ball Super suggests that the events of Wrath of the Dragon never occurred, or at the very least Bulma giving Tapion a time machine at the end of the movie never occurred, as Bulma herself stated that she had tried to reverse engineer Cell Time Machine but failed, and left its capsule on a shelf. Thus, it is very unlikely that she would have been able to create a working time machine at all, as she was only able to fix the one Cell came from after acquiring future Bulma's research notes and realizing what the fuel source was, which was something she recently discovered in a previous episode during the Copy Vegeta saga. Therefore, Wrath of the Dragon either takes place in GT or in another alternative version of the main timeline, making this a clear myth.
Stronger than your son was against Cell.
A very unpopular opinion that is somewhat believed by fans is that Vegeta never went Super Saiyan 2 by natural means, and only acquired it after having his mind controlled by Babidi, giving him the boost he needed to achieve that transformation. This belief was originally supported by how Vegeta reacted when he saw glimpses of Goku's Super Saiyan 2 power against Yakan, making it seem as he didn't have that ability at that time.
Curse your talent.
For anyone who actually believes this, I'm gonna dispel it and confirm to you that Vegeta did indeed possess the ability to go Super Saiyan 2. Vegeta's surprise or shock has little to do with him lacking the ability and more so to do with Goku's Super Saiyan 2 being simply stronger, implying Goku had a stronger base form than Vegeta, as Goku had the advantage of training 7 years in the other life. In fact, to actually support my statement, if you remember, Vegeta claimed he could defeat Dabura when Gohan was fighting with him, in his weakened Super Saiyan 2 state no less. I find this evidence compelling enough that Vegeta did indeed possess Super Saiyan 2 and was confident confident he could also beat Gohan at that time when he entered the tournament. Furthermore, we all know that not everyone who has Super Saiyan 2 would have the same power level. For example, a Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta would be stronger than Goku Super Saiyan 2, as Vegeta has a stronger base than Goku. I mean, obviously. In addition, Vegeta's transformation to Super Saiyan 2 on screen for the very first time looked incredibly smooth. It didn't look that he never achieved that transformation. As we all know, characters in the show that transform for the very first time take a much longer period of time to complete the sequence compared to their second time. Hit's time skip is one of the best new abilities introduced in Dragon Ball Super. With it, Hit is able to skip time for a 1/10 of a second, leaving his opponent open for attack. To many, the move is self-explanatory. Hit's Tokitobashi is skipping time. However, due to how the animation works, it has alluded to some that Hit stops time. However, contrary to popular belief, Hit does not freeze time at all. All he does is skip to catch his opponents off guard. It's almost like temporarily entering an alternative dimension, which is evident when Goku breaks the time skip with his sheer power.
Incredible! He's stronger than he ever was as a Super Saiyan, but he looks like he hasn't changed a bit.
If you have noticed already, most of the Dragon Ball myths date back to when the series was still young, which just shows you how some of these misconceptions have some strong roots to them. A very popular one would be that Gohan cannot activate Super Saiyan while in mystic form, because if he could, then surely he would have done it. The answer to this is fairly simple and straightforward. It all has to do with what the ultimate form represents. When Gohan is in this state of power, he's not simply transforming, but rather he's accessing his full power, 100% of his abilities in what seems to look like his base form, meaning even if he could actually go Super Saiyan, his power would not change at all. In fact, it could be argued that he would be weaker. This is supported by the Elder Kai himself, who says that Gohan doesn't need to go Super Saiyan in this state, because all it would do is just drain his ki faster. Now, I'm by no means saying it's impossible for Gohan to get stronger than this form. I'm only saying that going Super Saiyan is still a possibility in this form.
The power comes in response to a need, not a desire. You have to create that need. Son?
Okay, so this is something that I myself thought was true many years ago when I first watched Dragon Ball. The Super Saiyan transformation comes in response to need, not a desire. Something you might have heard Goku explain to Gohan in their first time training to go Super Saiyan in the hyperbolic time chamber. That quote in itself is not 100% accurate. It is an English dub quote. What Goku actually tells Gohan is that he needs to fight something to get angry about. While yes, an intense desire could cause enough motivation for a Saiyan to go Super Saiyan, however, the legitimate trigger is anger. A Saiyan has to experience extreme rage. Of course, that doesn't make the dub quote entirely incorrect. Saiyans still have to experience a legitimate urge to go Super Saiyan. Of course, I feel obliged to mention that Akira Toriyama has recently explained that Saiyans that transform require a large number of S cells in order to take on the form. Typically, Saiyans who have a gentle spirit gain more S cells, but when a Saiyan increases their battle power, they steadily gain more S cells as well.
After I finished training with King Kai in Otherworld, I thought I'd gotten as strong as I could possibly get. Then I saw Vegeta fight. And he's so much faster, so much more powerful than me. Things he was capable of, it was overwhelming.
This is probably one of the most infuriating misconceptions and flat-out stupid statements that people often say when mentioning the rivalry between Goku and Vegeta. It really makes you question whether they actually watched the Dragon Ball show or not. Goku has never, and I repeat, never beat Vegeta in battle. In fact, Goku has technically lost twice to Vegeta in Dragon Ball Z. This includes their only 2 official fights that they had. In their first encounter, Vegeta transforms into a giant ape and literally stomps Goku, rendering his body absolutely useless. It is not until Gohan, Krillin, and Yajirobe arrive and help defeat a weakened Vegeta that just tanked a spirit bomb, forcing him to retreat. Their second fight is in the Buu Saga, where yes, Goku could have went Super Saiyan 3 and beat Vegeta, but he didn't. Instead, he let his guard down against Vegeta, who knocked him down after being tricked into giving him his Senzu Bean. So even if you want to make a case that Vegeta cheated the second time, you can still make a case that Vegeta beating him in the first time is a legitimate victory. Hence, if Goku's allowed to use the Kaioken to amplify by his own base strength, then surely Vegeta could be allowed to use his Ozaru form. Nonetheless, Goku has never defeated Vegeta in a battle despite what some claim, and I'm honestly not saying this to discredit either characters. I like Goku and Vegeta both equally. However, what I don't like is people spreading misinformation. Those are the same exact people who claim that Goku died 10 times in the Dragon Ball show.
If I train in earnest for the next 4 months, yes, I could reach a power level of 1.3 million!
This is by far the worst Dragon Ball misconception out there, not because of its severity or the amount of people that believes this statement, but the fact that this misconception is completely Toei Animation's fault. In 2015, which marked the return of Dragon Ball's most iconic villain, Frieza, whom upon his resurrection stated to his followers that he will train to defeat Goku. But not only that, he specifically mentions that his power will increase to 1.3 million. Whether he meant that at his base or not is still irrelevant. That statement of Frieza in itself is false, as Frieza's base form alone was confirmed to be 530,000 in the Frieza arc. So merely doubling his strength won't be enough to fight Goku. Furthermore, Frieza's second transformation already puts him in the 1 million mark, which is the puzzling part regarding his statements in the Resurrection of F movie. Frieza mentions that his power level is over 1 million in his second form. If you think that is impressive, then I'll just let you know that Frieza's 100% power is confirmed to be 120 million. It is stated in the guides. In addition, Frieza himself says that he was only using 100% of his power when fighting Goku on Namek. If you're still skeptical about it, then you should rewatch the Frieza saga. There you will realize that Goku used his Kaioken times 20 and still couldn't beat Frieza, despite them fighting equally at the beginning. Nevertheless, Frieza's lines were removed in the Dragon Ball Super anime. However, I still felt the need to kill any misconceptions regarding this statement, as I still get comments about it in my own forms and transformations videos. But anyways, that was 7 more myths about the Dragon Ball show. If you enjoyed this video, then I urge you to watch my older video on this topic. If you know all of these myths, then please comment down below what other popular myths you have heard in the Dragon Ball community, whether it's frustrating or stupid myths you've heard, or even things you used to believe before. But all in all, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, then please like, comment, and subscribe, and also follow my Twitter. Peace.